Hello interwebs, welcome to Let's Fix Computers. We've got a Lenovo Yoga 3 14-inch here, and this thing has a broken touchscreen. Front panel is broken there, you can see the cracks. The LCD is actually okay, but because the glass is broken, the Digitizer is going wild and just spewing all over the screen. So we're going to replace that. I've got this. So this is a front glass Digitizer and LCD assembly. I was hoping it was going to have the bezel on it as well. However, it's come like this. So unfortunately, I need to salvage the bezel, which I'm not too thrilled about because that's the thing that I hate doing. But because we've got a LCD that is bonded to the new Digitizer on this new assembly here, we should have no issues with ghosting on the screen. Because it's when you attach the LCD to your new Digitizer, that's where you get problems, which is what I've seen on previous touchscreens that I've replaced. We're also missing basically all of the screws from the bottom of this thing, so we're going to replace all of those and that will tighten everything up. Right, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is remove the display assembly so I can work on that in the open, because if I've got to remove all this stuff, I don't really want to do that in situ. So let's take out the screw on the bottom of the laptop. Oh, I lied, we've got two screws, there's two. Let's take those out and then we can start working on this thing. Huh, is that a dummy fan? I think it is. Surprised they bother putting that in there. Maybe it's structural. Okay, right, so we've got to remove that. Ugh, that's a horrid display connector. Does that need to come out? God, that's a bit naff as well. That's the DC jack. Fine. Is that broken? Yeah, it is. God, this thing's been in the wars. Okay, fine. Wireless antennas over here. Good, that pretty much gets the display assembly clear. Can I just feed those out? I can. Good. Alright, let's undo these screws, open the hinges, and then that's the body off. Okay, right, there's our display assembly. So let's pop off these screw covers down here. Alright, so we should be able to split this display assembly in half now. So let's go up high and go and just sort of dig into there. How's that? Nah. There we go. I'm going to be a little bit cavalier because we're replacing basically everything inside this display assembly. So the big difference here is on a non-touchscreen laptop. What's going on here? Things are happening. Hold on a sec. That bit wants to come off. Okay. And we've got some small covers coming off there, the sides. Okay. Have we got any screws there? Nope, that's fine. This is kind of weird. Okay. Right. What I was about to say is, on a non-touchscreen display, obviously the front bezel comes off and leaves everything in the back of the display assembly, whereas on a touchscreen it's the other way around. The back of the display assembly comes off and all of the LCD and everything is built onto the front part of the display assembly. Here we've got a horrifying mixture of the two, where the hinges and the cable roots are attached to the back. So I need to, I don't know, I guess I'm going to take those hinges off. Okay, there we go. That's the back gone. So now we've got the hinges just flapping around there. I'm just going to adjust the angle on these just so we're not straining these cables. There we go. That just a sheet covering the back? Yeah, I think it is. Right, so, okay, what we need to do now is try and remove the LCD, which I think is going to be stuck on. Right, so these wireless antennas, that's these flappy bits here, those are kind of attached to the back of stuff. I'm trying to figure out how much to come out here. I think this black plastic sheet wants to come off. Is that doable? I think it is, yeah. Let's get that off because I don't have that. Here's the replacement. So I think we want to salvage the black plastic sheet. Right, there was nothing attached to that. I'm not sure if that's actually serving any useful purpose, but I'm going to take it off and put it on the new one anyway, just for posterity. Okay, the wireless antennas, I need to take these out. Oh, this is a tight fit around here. This is going to be horrid. Okay, that can stay there. That's... Actually, can I unhook that? Oh, I can... not really. Bloody hell. Can I think... Right, so here's the hinge, and that guy normally sits like that. I think that bit comes out, and then these wires will come out from the hinge. That will make my life a lot easier. Does that pop out? Yes, it does. Oh, there we go. Good. Okay, now we've freed the wires from the hinge. That is helpful. So I can pull those back through for the time being. We're going to have to put these wires back in, but at least this means that I can just move more stuff out of the way, because I've got to unstick. The problem is I've got to get this glass panel off of this plastic frame, which is a bit nightmarish, and I'm not too thrilled about having to do it. Okay, right, so this is the touchscreen controller, which I don't think has to come off. I'm just going to remove the cables from it, because then I can remove the display cable, which will give me a lot more room to maneuver. Right, I think that's a little microphone down there. Alright, that's our display cable out. So now we've got the glass panel on the frame. So now can we get this LCD off? How stuck down is this LCD? If I just bend that down slightly, will the LCD start prying out? We are replacing this LCD, so it doesn't matter if I break it, but it would kind of be nice not to break it, because this LCD might be useful for other repairs. I don't think we're going to get it out alive though. Brutalizing here. Plastic prying tool time. If we're lucky, I haven't just wrecked that LCD. Let's see if we can just run that around the edge. Maybe it's only stuck around the edges. Oh, this is horrid. The amount of bendage I'm putting on this is horrifying. It is coming away. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. I'm breaking it. It's fucked. Okay. Alright, that's not coming off in the way that I thought it was. That's bonded on properly. Okay. Right, well, Plan B. Okay, well, it's a good thing we didn't need the LCD. I was not banking on that anyway, so that's fine. If the LCD was out of the way, it would make it easier to remove the front glass. I may as well carry on. What's done is done. basically I've removed the backlight. So we've got a bare LCD panel there. I want to get under onto this plastic. Oh, what a nightmare. You know, before I go any further with this, I'm going to jump on eBay and see how much a plastic bezel is, because I might be able to pay £10 more to not have to remove this bezel, and I will quite happily pay that out of my pocket right now. Right, so I couldn't find a bezel online, and instead I opted to just buy the correct parts in the first place, which is the bezel, front digitizer and LCD as one single unit. I did plan on just fixing all of this during editing, however I've decided to actually leave in my failure to take apart the previous one as just another illustration on why it's a bad idea to try and do the quote-unquote glass-only replacement when doing these LCD repairs. So, you know, have a watch, make of this what you will. If you know a method of doing this effectively, then by all means do let us know in the comments, but yeah, every now and then I try to do this, and every time I try and do it, I fail, and I come back with different parts. Okay, so let's have a look at the spare parts that I've bought for this one. So, because this is a touchscreen, we've got a complete front display assembly, and this is comprised of 3 parts. We have the front glass and digitizer, which is the actual glass sheet on the front. We have the LCD, which is the actual LCD display on the back. And we have the plastic frame in the middle. So this bezel, known as the frame, that is in the middle, and the whole lot is all pre-glued, pre-sealed, pre-everything on this one. Now, you can buy this all in separates. You can buy a separate LCD, a separate frame, and a separate piece of glass and digitizer if you want. However, I know from past experience, and I've got videos on my channel about me doing glass-only replacements, that it's an absolute nightmare. Buying a complete kit like this will probably only cost you maybe £20 or £30 more. Always buy the whole lot together. Don't attempt glass-only repair. It's a horrifying job. Just don't do it. I've attempted it a couple of times, and every time I try it, I go, should have bought the whole lot together. So just, yeah, buy the complete kit like this. Now all I've had to do is I just got to swap over a couple of parts. We need a webcam in here. And probably, yeah, we need the wireless antennas as well. There's a few more bits and pieces that we've got to put onto this, and then I've literally just got to reassemble the laptop. So let's start robbing bits over. Right, so the first thing we've got to put on is the dual microphone board. So we've got 2 microphones here, and the entrances for those are on the other side. So let's just peel back this self-adhesive that's there, and that guy is going to go on there. Okay, then next we need to check. Now we've got the touchscreen assembly here. What is going on here? That should just be down like that. Oh, okay. Oh, I see, yeah. We can just peel that back and stick that down. I wonder why they didn't do that. Own laziness, maybe. I was very confused for a moment then. Maybe they just leave it masking tapes on just so they can swap it out for a different version if they need to, or something like that. Oh well. Right, that's that. Now I need the webcam. And, okay, this is webcam and display cable. And then we've got, whatever that is, that's an ambient light sensor. We'll just guide that cable in. This is the crap part of doing these, is just running all these cables. You have to remember where it all goes or figure it out again. Luckily, because I record, I have the cheat sheet, so if I actually get completely stuck on this, I can just review my disassembly footage and see how it looked before I took it all apart. And of course, if you don't have cameras, you can always just take pictures as you go. So just every time you put your tools down to pick up something else, just take a picture of it, and you've got a nice little time lapse of how exactly you took the device apart. Alright, there we go. Right, that leads around to there. LCD connector. Locking cable down. Then that goes underneath into the microphones. There's a lot going on this cable, to be honest. It's unusual to see a cable with this much on it. Although it is kind of nice because it means that there's less wires to route. It's just this one wire makes a lot of stops. Okay, and finally we go a little bit further along to the digitizer. There we go. I'm just going to press that microphone back on because I nudged it. It's fine. And then that is going to exit there into the hinges. Cool. Right, now we just need some wireless antennas. Alright, is one of these longer than the other? Yes, the black one is the short one. Now the wireless antennas come down on... Yeah, the wireless antennas come down on the other side of the display connector. So the black one is going to go on the left because it has the shorter wire, and the white one will go on the right. Now these don't have any locator pins on them. However, I can see from the kink in the wire that that would have been there previously. So we can line that kink up in the top left corner of the display assembly, and I can use that to gauge that the antenna was there. There we go. Let's go with that and see if that works when we get to it. Not sure that I've got that left one right, but sometimes you've just got to lay the cable down and then just try and put it back together again and see if it works. Right, what's going on here? Okay, this one's going to go all the way across the top. That's probably going to go on the same mount pattern as the other one. And that cable looked like it comes up there. Goes across, and I wanted to run that one first. Darn. Okay, I think those are both good. We'll find out in a minute when we try and put the rest of it back together. So, right, now we need to rebuild the back end of the display assembly. Right, now this bit gets a bit complicated because normally your hinges are just going to attach to either one side or the other. But on this particular display assembly, we've actually got to attach them to both. Because the hinges are going to bolt to the back piece, but then the wires have to go through the hinges from the front piece, so it's all a bit hectic. I'm going to start by bolting them to the back panel though. Let's figure out which way around they go. They go that way around, okay. So you and you. Right, let's bolt these back together. Presumably using those flat screws. Now this laptop is actually not horrifyingly bad because we've actually got metal plates reinforcing these screw down points. So I'm going to go and give these just a nice little with the screwdriver. We're not trying to tear them out, but just making sure those are tight. Because if these screws come loose, then your display assembly is going to rip itself apart. So we want to make sure those are in properly, which they now are. So now we're going to flip our front piece over, and I'm just going to rest it on top there. And we've got to poke those guys back in there. It's a really weird way these hinges work, but they're kind of, these hinges have a double action because they have 180 degrees of movement. Right, and then these little rubber grommets just go in there. I'm going to need to close that slightly to get them in though. Might have had to do this before I screwed them on. I think I can get them in. There we go. Right, and let's center the display properly. Now, the moment of truth is if those, if the wireless antennas are going to go down properly, and I can see they're absolutely not. Okay. No, I've got that wireless antenna wrong. Damn it. We're going to open this back up and redo those wires. Can I flip that without having to take all the hinges off again? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I think she'll be alright. Okay, right. Alright, there we go. I've just rerouted the wireless antenna cables so they're all tucked up against the LCD there, which I think is where they're supposed to go. Which was horrifying, but now they're nice and neat. And oh yeah, that gap has just disappeared completely now. That's more like it. That's how it should be. Let's start clicking this into place. Right, I think we're on for a winner. Now there were two little covers here. I think those are actually from another laptop. No, we'll forget those. Oh wait, no, I know where those are from. Those go on these little side bits there. And then we have this center strip in the middle. Okay, so now we'll take two screws for that display. Alright, and I think we're good. And before we go any further now, I'm just going to hook this up to the laptop and just make sure it works. Because there's nothing worse than going this far only to find that you've gotten something wrong and it doesn't work. And I would rather know that sooner rather than later. Oh, we don't need Wi-Fi. I just want to see that screen light up. I just want to know that the display works. Right, and this particular Lenovo uses a bizarre proprietary USB connector. I've no idea what this guy's all about. I don't know why they didn't just put USB-C on it. Look at that guy. That's nuts. As you can see, it's got that little notch on it to make sure that you can't plug it into an ordinary USB port. But you can still plug USB into its connector, I think. Which is really crazy. Alright. Oh, that needs power as well. Plug that in first. That's a horrible push fit connector as well, considering that's handling DC in. Alright, we have a charge light on the side. We have a power light, we have band spin, and we have a Lenovo logo. Nice. Okay, let's turn that off again. There we go. Alright, now we can finish putting the rest of this back on. So we need to close the hinges. Oh dear, the Lenovo selection's a bit thin on the ground. Alright, let's raid the Toshiba screws. They're always good for a selection. No, those heads are too big. I need something. They're quite small, these screws. I'll ask Sony. They like small screws. Now, I think we might end up with a bit of a hodgepodge of screws in this thing, but as long as it's all held together, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, these silver head ones are nice. Let's see if we can find some more of those. Alright, and there we have it. So we have one working laptop, hinges are all nice and tight, all the screws in the bottom are replaced, and we have a working touchscreen as well. Job's a good one. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now.